sin, which is death. And Jesus died there, and he was taken down from that cross, and he was laid in a borrowed tomb. And on the third day, he arose from the dead. That is the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is it right there in a nutshell. And so what way should you go this morning? The way you should go is the way of the cross. It leads home. The way of the cross leads home. You should go the way of Jesus Christ, the way of the saved way. The saved way. You say, what do you mean saved? Romans 10:13, for whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. That's the way you should go, the Christian way, the born-again way. Jesus said, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, broad is the way which leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in therein. Whee! And many there be which go in thereat. No applause, no nothing? Thank you. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So that's the first way we should go, the saved way, the born-again way, the Christian way. Here's the second way that we should go, and that's the self-controlled way. Self-controlled way. Have y'all read the news lately? People have no control. They're punching out people at McDonald's they didn't get their order right. I hardly ever go to McDonald's and get my order right. Right? I mean, I'm like, hey, look, they got it right. I give them high fives, knuckles. No. But we have no control. People are committing heinous acts of violence. We have no control. No control at all. And what way should we go? The self-controlled way. Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. Let me tell you this story. Brenda and I, we went camping in Fort Smith, Arkansas. If this was the state of Arkansas, as you're looking at it, and we're right up here, we're north central Missouri or south central Missouri, but right above the northern Arkansas. Over here's Fort Smith, okay, and it borders Oklahoma. That's why I got nervous with tornado season. Two places you don't want to be when it's tornado season: near Oklahoma or a trailer park. I mean, they just love them. And so we're over here, okay. Well, we took the route that actually went down toward Jonesboro. Believe it or not, because we took 67 and then we caught whatever leads over to Searcy and then got on to Conway and it was 40. And so it was actually better traveling. Okay. So we went east to go southwest. Didn't make sense, but we made it there. Okay. Well, coming back, Brenda's in her car behind me because Caleb had borrowed it. And so she was in her car and she said, hey, would you set my phone? So we used Google Maps. Google Maps. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Google Maps. Now, when Brenda and I first started traveling, we'd get that big map from Walmart. You remember those days? Big map from Walmart, you'd fold it out or it came in a book and you'd have to chart your and you had to look for the next one was, you take exit 28 and you wanted to, 5 north and you had to do all this. And if you want to know how long it would take you, you'd have to get a ruler out because for every inch was equal to a mile and you had to figure out all that kind of stuff. Y'all remember those days? Well, now you can use Google Maps or any kind of thing like that, and you just enter your destination, and it'll go, boop, boop, it pops up your course. So we did that on the way home. And so it gives you a couple of options. Well, I picked the southern route because we were going to go southern. We weren't going to go through Harrison. We're going to come to the southern route. I didn't pay close attention. We got on this highway, and I'm pulling this camper, all right? She's behind us. We get on this highway. You get going, okay, 30 mile an hour, 35 mile an hour, 40, 45. Oh, hey, we're getting up to speed. Nope, slow down. Here's another little town. So we'd slow down. And we get to this little town. I thought, okay, that's good. That's good. Now I can get going back to speed. So I get back up 40 mile an hour, 45 mile an hour, 50. Oh, boy, we're traveling good. Nope, slow down, slow down. Here's another little town. I called Brenda and I said, you know what highway we're on? And she said, no, what? And I said, 3 Mile Highway. And she said, 3 miles? I said, yeah, every 3 miles is a little town. You got to slow down in. So I pull over because this map is not working right. I pull over and I said, we're going to figure out a better route. So I got us up on 40. Woo, man, we're traveling. I mean, we're 4 lanes, 2 on this side, 2 that way, and we're going 65 mile an hour. Well, Google Maps says, there's a better route. Well, do tell, give it to us if there's a better route. It put us on the pig path of Highway 9. Now, I got to tell you a little anecdote of the story. My truck was having a little bit of brake issues. I took it to Midas, and they said, oh, you got a leak. He said, you're going to have to have a brake line. And I said, it'll get me home on it. And he said, well, which way are you going? I said, well, we're taking Interstate 40. He said, oh, you'll be fine. You won't have to brake much. Well, on Highway 9, every third sign said crooked and steep. Crooked and steep. We did see one speed limit sign that said 55 mile an hour, and I just laughed. 55 mile per hour on this road? Crooked and steep. We pulled off. It said, I'm not kidding you. I got to point the story. It said, we found a better route. I said, you ain't found no better route. It took us on Highway 58. I thought, no, it's redeeming itself. So we go on 58. I can't see nothing. I mean, curves. We pull over, and Britt said, what are you doing? I said, I saw the sign that said Batesville, Arkansas. I know how to get home from Batesville, Arkansas. She said, we're doubling back. I said, I don't care. I know how to get home. You know what was doing? I had let control go to Google Maps. I let Google Maps control where I was going. When I saw the sign for Batesville, I knew how to get home from Batesville. I said all that story to say this. In life, the way to go is to take the self-controlled way. Don't let the world determine your day. Don't let the world determine where you're going to spend eternity. Don't let the world determine if you're happy or not. Don't let the world determine if you're satisfied or not, or you're content or not. Take control. Take the self-controlled way of life. Take control of your eternity. Where are you going to end up 100 years from now? I like Zacchaeus. You know why I like Zacchaeus? He took control. He heard that Jesus was coming to town. He said, hey, I'm going to go down there and see if I can see him. Well, he got down there. Zacchaeus was wee little man. A wee little man was he. He was short of stature. So Zacchaeus gets down there and he can't see for the press. He didn't go, well, I'm going to go home. Who had known this crowd's going to be in my way? No, he took control. He said, I'm going to run ahead. I'm going to get ahead of the crowd. And when he got there, he said, I don't care if the crowd follows him. I'm going to find a place up in this tree where I know I can see him. He took control. You're here this morning and you want control of your life. I would encourage you, take control. Control where your eternity is going to be spent. Control whether you're happy or not. Control whether you're satisfied or not. Control whether you have purpose and meaning in your life. Don't let Google Maps or the world determine where you're going to go. Don't leave it to chance or luck. No such thing, by the way. You take control of those things. Jesus said in Matthew 22, one came to him and said, Master, which is the great commandment in law? And Jesus said to him, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. He said, the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. I would encourage you to take control, prioritize, put God first in your life. Put him first in your life. You will not regret it. If I was training up a child, teaching young people, I would say, hey, put God number one. Put him number one and control where your life's going to be. Control how your life's going to be lived. How many of you know if you wake up and you decide, if you wait till right when it's time to go to church to decide whether you're going to go to church or not, you will not go to church. You have to decide early in the week whether you're going to go to church. My kids never grew up going, Dad, are we going to church today? They never did. They know where we're going on Sunday. They know where. Prioritize it. Prioritize it. Make it a priority. And I put that down. Get in church. Make it a priority. You're going to get in church. Right now, today, you say, I am in church. I'm talking about next Sunday. I'm crazy. I'm talking about tonight. I'm crazy. I'm talking about Wednesday night. But get in church. Hey, get in the Word. Take control. You want to be able, let me tell you this. You want to have a blessed life. You live it according to this book right here. You want a blessed life. Live it according to this manual. God give us an instruction manual for life. And you and I live in a day and time where it's so readily available. You can go to a bookstore. You can go to the library. You can take one from the doctor's office. I know the Gideons, they won't care. All right? You can take one from your next motel room. They don't care. They'll replace it again. Get a copy. You can get it on your phone. You can listen to it audibly. Get in the Word. You want to take control? Get in the way, take control of your life, get in prayer. Get in prayer. Man, life is miserable at times. Amen? It's tough at times. It's hard at times. I like that John Wayne quote, life's hard. It's harder when you're stupid. But it's also harder when you don't pray. Man, oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Take control. How about this? What way should we go? Take control of your life. Get in service. Get in service. God's been good to. He's not only been good to me. I'll tell you right now, I know all of y'all, he's been good to you too. The fact we live where we live, we were in Fort Smith and Fayetteville area. There's a lot of people in Fort Smith and Fayetteville. I mean, money falling off trees over there. A lot of money and a lot of homeless. A lot of things they have to deal with, we don't have to deal with. I don't know if y'all have heard this, but there's a solar eclipse coming. Have y'all heard that? 300,000 people coming to this area. I wouldn't drive to Doniphan to see it, but they're coming to this area. And I think, what's that going to do? What if some of these people decide to come here and stay? You know, I'm going to say, make sure you got enough gas in your tank to go home, right? But we live where we live. God's been so good to us. We have a church home and a church family. God's been good to us. You've got a roof over your head. God's been good to you. How many of you could stand to lose some weight? I started saying a number, but I'm not going to do that. You know, we don't look like Ethiopians. You know why we don't look like Ethiopians? They don't have Aldi's in Ethiopia, right? They don't have McDonald's on every corner in Ethiopia. You and I, we are blessed. God's been so good to us. Well, that blessing we need to in turn put to work. God's been good to us for a reason, to serve, right? Serve him by serving others. Let me encourage you to get in service. How about this one? I'd encourage you to get in there and stay in there. Get in there and stay in there. Right now, take control. Decide you're going to be faithful. I'm going to be faithful. I'm going to be faithful today. I'm going to be faithful tomorrow. I'm going to be faithful next week, next month, next year. I'm going to be faithful until the Lord calls me home. Take control. That's the way you need to go. Take control of your spirit. Feed it. Feed your spirit. The spirit within you, feed that. Feed that spirit that's in you. Feed it, nurture it, fan the flames of the Holy Spirit in your life. I would encourage you to do that. What way should we go? Here's the third way. Live life now with the end in mind. Live life now with the end in mind. My mom is in a nursing home. That's hard for me to say. My mom's in a nursing home. My mom is not nursing home material. My mom is the 24-year-old woman I remember as a kid. My mom is the lady in cut-off jeans and a college T-shirt with hair and big rollers and pointing her finger at my dad who's taking a picture. That's my mom, not my mom in a nursing home. You go in the nursing home, and who else is in the nursing home? Other people who are in nursing homes, who lived their life just like my mom, proud and walked about and did what they wanted to do. Let me tell you what's coming to you and I. If Jesus doesn't rapture us out, that's what's coming to you and I. It's what's coming. So how should you live your life? Live your life with the end in mind. Live your life with the end in mind. We wanted to get from Fort Smith, we wanted to get to Alton, Missouri. I did put the destination in there, and it would have got us there 6 weeks later, but it would have got us there. Where do you want to end up when your life's over with? What do you want to have accomplished? What do you want said of you? What do you want your tombstone to read? What do you want those that get up and speak on your behalf to say about you? Live your life now with the end in mind. Live it with your life in mind. David said this, the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong. This is what he's telling his son. Be thou strong, therefore, show thyself a man. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes, his commandments, his judgments, his testimonies, as it's written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself. David was telling his son, listen, here's what you need to do. Live your life with the end in mind. Live your life with the end in mind. Paul said these words, I'm now ready to be offered. The time of my departure is at hand. He said, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Man, I want to be able to say that, just like Paul. I want to say I have finished the race. I have kept the course. I have done it. In Matthew 25, I mentioned this earlier. Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is a man traveling into a far country who called his own servants and delivered them his goods. He gave unto one 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, every man according to his several ability. And straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made the other 5 talents. Likewise, he received 2, also gained other 2. He that had received the 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them. Now listen, there's a reckoning coming. The Lord's going to reckon with you. He's going to reckon with me. He's given some of us 5. He's given some of us 2, and he's given some of us just 1. And he's going to reckon. He's going to say, hey, let's settle up. How are you going to settle up? How are you going to settle up? Are you doing anything now to settle up? Listen, we've been blessed. You've been blessed a bunch. Better get busy. You say you work to be saved? No, we work because we're saved. It's a whole different doctrine. Well, you work to stay saved? No, sir. We are saved and kept by God's grace. But we work because we've been blessed. God's been good to us. To whom much is given, much is required. Live your life with the end in mind. What way should we go? Boy, this morning, let me tell you what. You want to. There's a couple places you go visit and God will speak to you. You stay long in a nursing home, God will speak to you. You go out that cemetery out there, God will speak to you. Every once in a while, just read great headstones. Just read the stories. You can read in that story. There's a name. That person was given that name. Somebody gave them that name. There's a reason. A lot of times it's got somebody's grandma or somebody's grandpa's name in there, a close family friend. Some reason there's that name. There's that date of birth, what was going on. You see those headstones that'll say 1862. They were born right in the middle of the Civil War. Wow, how life was for them. And then you'll see that dash, and you wonder what all went on in that dash. How they lived, how their homes were, what the job they held, what kind of trade, what kind of skills, what kind of talents did they have, who did they marry? And you'll see that a lot of times, that who they married would be buried right next to them. And then you'll see that date of death. And sometimes that date of death will be a very short date of death. It'll be between date of birth and date of death. We'll say, ooh, something happened. Tragedy must have befallen. An accident, maybe a sickness. What happened? And you wonder, that date of death, did it come on them a day they knew it was coming? Did they wake up one day and go, boy, in 3 months, 2 weeks, and 4 days, I'm going to pass away? Or was it, man, I'll be up to this time tomorrow, and tomorrow never came? Listen, what way should we go? Live life with the end in mind. You're in the dash right now. God's given you an opportunity to get your heart right, to get things in order, and then live the life that He meant for you to have. An abundant life, a full life, a complete life. A life for Him and through Him. Today's an outstanding day. Man, springtime is here. We are a few days away from the official start of spring. And no better way to enter into spring and the rest of your life than going the way that God would have us to go. Train up a child in the way he should go. Let's everyone stand.